What's up, guys? This is Zach from betonitmma, and I'm here to recap UFC 285. Hardly wasn't able to make this video, but he will be back this week on the breakdowns and everything else. Um, we're running through every card before I break down the recap. So I want to let y'all know the parlays we put out. We put out some that hit. So if you've been following us, follow us on our pages on Facebook, Instagram, you've won money with us 3 weeks in a row. So all we ask is that you like the video, subscribe to our channel, and comment if you won with us. So yeah, starting off with the first fight, we had two guys debuting. We had Loic Rachkabov and facing off with Esteban Ribovic. Rachkabov's relentless wrestling, relentless pace was able to get the unanimous decision over Ripovich. I think both guys will probably have a good future in the UFC. Rashkabov taking us on short notice, good look for him. And Ribovic, even though he lost, he was in there till the final bell. A lot of good stuff that I seen with him, especially like using the Kimura trap. Very good jiu-jitsu. He just got out wrestled, so nothing to hang his head about. Second fight, we had Fareed Basharat taking on Damon Blackshear, and Fareed Basharat was able to get the unanimous decision victory. Damon Blackshear, though, man, showed a lot of good things. A lot of good things. He had a draw with Yusuf Zalal, and then even though it was unanimous over Fareed Basharat, like Basharat was just getting the better of him later in the rounds. So good debut by Basharat beating a guy like Damon Blackshear, and I feel Damon Blackshear is definitely going to be able to get some wins in the UFC. Hopefully, they do give him another fight because I see him staying in the UFC as well. Third fight, we had Tabitha Reese facing off with Jessica Pinier. Reese was able to get the submission, and if you watched our podcast, Harley called it that Reese was going to get the sub. So we started off the fight card strong, 3-0. Moving up to the fourth fight, another one that we called as well. Cameron Simon facing off with Manny Martinez. And man, was it a fight. It was a very exciting fight. A couple low blows paused the action, but when it got back to it, man, these guys are banging. Simon, man, like I said, Mana was gonna test him. Mana is, he's a scrapper. He's gonna be in there the whole entire fight, throwing heat. And Simon matched that, man. We've seen that Simon does have that dog in him. If somebody puts pressure on him, it doesn't matter. He's gonna put just as much pressure. So very impressive win over a good opponent and Cameron Simon getting the dub. Fifth fight, man, we had Ian Gary still undefeated in the UFC, defeating Kanon Song, third round TKO. What I loved about this fight was Ian Gary, man. Everybody talked about this fight like he wasn't gonna get really tested or anything, including me. And Kanon Song almost put him out, man. Third round, I mean the first round at the end of it, caught him with some shots, man. And Ian Gary showed that, when adversity, meets him, he's gonna meet back with even more. He was able to weather storms, shake back, show some really good things. Second and third round was able to come back and just outpace, outmatch Kanon Song, and eventually get a stoppage in the third, man. Very impressive win from Ian Gary. Showed that he could take adversity, take a shot, and come back with it. Very impressive win. Look forward to seeing him fight again. Next fight we have Marc-Andre Barriault, getting the TKO over Julian Marquez. This is one fight that we picked wrong, but we were like, this is gonna be a little, it can go the other way because of how technical Barriault is. And man, the guys take Barriault, he fought a smart game plan. Marquez came in heavy on the first round, a high pace, and then started to fade. And when he started to fade, Barriault, that's when he picked it up. And man, very good fight. I like that he's with Killcliff. I mean, the move since he's been with that camp, he's been looking better and better. So good win by Barrios, and I'm sure Marquez will be back. You know what I'm saying? This guy took so many punches and just it took everything for Barrios to get him out there. So showed a real impressive heart right there. So next fight we had Amanda Ribas facing off with Vivian Araujo. Um, this is, I think, the only fight that me and Harley were split on, and he got me again, man. He picked Rebus. Rebus looks real good, man. Usually she don't have them hands like that, especially at 125. That's one thing I was doubting, Vivian being the bigger girl. And Rebus, man, she checked off every list. Her stand up looked good, her ground game looked good. Vivian almost had an armbar at the end, but Rebus stayed calm, cool, collective, and was able to get the decision victory. So yeah, if you followed our prop bets, that was one of them. That Rebus versus Arujo to go all 3 rounds. We also had Kanon Song and Ian Gary that go past 1.5. We seen that Gary, tends to finish guys later on or go the distance, so that hit. And then our third leg of that parlay was Cameron Simon versus Man Martinez to start round two. We both knew these guys were durable. Both knew these guys, we're fast starters, but like I said, durable. And yeah, that whole parlay hit. So if you like that one in, cashed in, good for y'all. All right, moving up the card, Dricus Du Plessis ended up getting the TKO win over Derek Brunson, man. Props to Derek Brunson, man. He showed, you know what I'm saying? He's going out swinging, even though he's getting up there in age. Like it took a lot to get him out of there, and like he was winning the first round. Well, he did win the first round. Uh, he was able to make it a Derek Brunson fight, gritty, and wrestle him. And Duplessis showed that like he passed that test, man. He was able to get back up to his feet, even shot takedowns of his own. Brunson hurt him a couple times. Duplessis hurt Brunson a couple times. I mean, it was a very exciting fight. And you know, no knock to Derek Brunson, man. He's been there with the who's who, never said no to anybody. So I don't know if that's gonna be his last fight, but if it is, shout out to him. And shout out to Duplessis, man. Getting the win, moving up in the rankings. South Africa's doing big things, man. Him and Corey Cameron Simon on a win streak, both undefeated in the UFC. You love to see it. All right, moving up the card, we had Cody Garbrandt getting the win over Trevin Jones. I mean, I don't think anybody's stock gets taken away from this fight. Cody Garbrandt, first 2 rounds looked phenomenal. Um, I know in his post-fight press conference, he said he had some injuries, so that can explain why he took the third round off. And I mean, when you're on a losing streak and you're winning, you don't want to risk too much. You want to get that win. You want to solidify it. So he went on cruise control third round. And then props to Trevin Jones for trying to get the finish in the third round. He could have easily just went on cruise control too. Knowing he was down 2 rounds and then, going in for the kill, took it on relatively short notice. And when a lot of guys didn't want to take that fight. So props to Trevin Jones. Hopefully they give him another fight in the UFC. I think this guy can definitely get wins. He's fought nothing but killers. So yeah, no stock loss in those two. Next we had the first fight on the main card. We had Bo Nickel getting the submission victory in the first round. And me and Harley both called that, man, first round submission victory. Bo Nickel, there's not going to be many people that can keep up with his wrestling. When it comes to wrestling, this is about as good as it can get in the UFC. Jamie Pickett, props to Jamie Pickett for stepping up. But man, Bo just showed there's levels to this, and once he got it to the ground, man, he showed that his submission game is up to par. And I like seeing that, man. I'm ready to see more. Second fight on the main card, we had Mateus Gamrot facing off with Jalen Turner. Really good fight, man. Really good fight. I know Mateus Gamrot took it on short notice, but you got to understand Jalen Turner took this matchup on short notice. So for both of them, man, it was a completely different fight from Dan Hooker that Jalen Turner was preparing for. And that's why I was kind of more confident in Gamrot to get the win. With a full camp, who knows what would happen on both ends, you know what I'm saying? But Mateus Gamrot, man, what can I say, man? He's a dog. He's a killer, and I feel like he can put up a good fight with anybody in the lightweight division right now. Not saying he beats everybody, but they're gonna know they're gonna be in a fight, man. And his angles on his takedowns very impressive to see. And Jalen Turner, man, I feel like he's like this close from being making that next step, even though he might have not beat Gamrot. I mean, watch his next fight. This guy gets better with each fight, and like fighting a guy like Gamrat, bringing the best out of him. I feel like you're only gonna see better work from Jalen Turner. So still keep your eye on him. He's still a good prospect. I wouldn't even call him a prospect. Like he's in there top 10 for sure. Um, moving up the card, probably the fight of the night, man. We have Shavkat Rakhmonov. He got the submission victory over Geoff Neal, and like, listen, man, this was a drag out fight. Like, Shavkat got tested. That was like one of the first times we actually seen him get hit, and he came back with even more heat. And bro, shout out to Geoff Neal. Like, the dude has no quit in him, man. He was getting hit with some good shots and coming back. He'd get hit 5 times, and just when you think he was out of it, he would come back with a power shot, kind of hurt Rakhmonov, and man, it's just it was crazy to see. Shavkat really didn't. He tried to press the issue with the takedowns, and Josh Neal's takedown defense was able to hold up, and it kind of brought out a better version of Shavkat's stand up, which was good to see. But yeah, I really hope they got fight of the night. I'm not sure who got fight of the night, but they definitely deserve it. Hell of a fight. Nothing to take away from both of them. I think Joff Neal can still fight with the best of them in the welterweight division, and I think Rakhmonov is like, he's really that guy that, people been hyping him up to be, and I can't wait to see him fight that top five. Um, moving up the card, man, co-main event action. We have our third Mexican champ in Alexa Grasso, man. Very cool to see. Uh, she beat Valentina Shevchenko, who we thought was unbeatable. I mean, Valentina, man, she's been running through these girls as of lately. I know Santos gave her a tough fight, and Grasso had been looking good too, man, in her last couple fights. But personally, I just thought Valentina was just going to be a bit too much, and I was definitely wrong. Grasso, man, definitely showed that, like, even in her losses, when it was on the ground, she's improved so much from those fights. She was able to get her, like, take down entries on Valentina, and Grasso's hands were super fast. Valentina was starting to find her job, but man, it was very fun exchanges to watch. And it was just such a high level, and it's so cool to see these girls at a higher level. I mean, personally, I feel like some of these girls have more technique than some of these dudes. And the thing about girl fighting, man, I feel like they got more heart, so it's fun to watch, man. Shout out to Grasso getting the win, and shout out to Valentina because I know they're gonna do a rematch, and that's gonna be a fun fight to watch. Um, moving up to the main event. We had the GOAT, man. There's no way you can't call him the GOAT. John Jones making it look easy, man, respectfully to Cyril Gane. But damn, Jones has showed it when it comes to, heavyweight wrestling, heavyweight. I mean, honestly, everything, like putting everybody on blast, man. Like Jones, what more can I say, man? He made that like effortless. He did the right things at the right moment. His timing was on point. Even when he threw his hands, I know it wasn't a long time to throw the hands, but like he landed 2 or 3 good shots, and yeah, he was able to get Gane out there. Real interested to see how Gane's mindset, you know, after this fight. Is it gonna make him hungry? Is it gonna make him like push harder, or what are we gonna see out of Gane? I'm real interested to see that because he has came up short against Ngannou, very close fight, and then you put on some good performances, and then you fight a guy like Jones, and he just gets you out of there like that, you know. I think Gane will come back stronger, but it's gonna be really interesting to see his mindset from now. And John Jones, man. What more can I say, man? Man's the GOAT. But yeah, that was my recap of UFC 285. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. We're putting out content damn near every day. And yeah, man. Comment what you thought about the card. I thought it was a hell of a card. Feel like the UFC did a good job. And yeah, I'm out.